Thanks for joining me again today. I wanted to offer you a bit of yoga with weights. Now, weights are helpful because they build our muscle tissue, and the more muscle you have, the more bone you need to support that muscle. So not only do you build muscle tissue, you also build bone density. The more muscle you have, the more calories and fat you burn, both at rest and at work. So having nice lean muscle mass is important, especially if you are trying to maintain or lose body fat. And what I love about working with the yoga and the weights is that it stays non-impact. So we don't put too much wear and tear on the muscles, connective tissues, and joints. But you do build that nice lean muscle, not the bulky kind of muscle that would inhibit your range of motion. Especially for my lady friends out there, I want to say don't be too frightened to use heavier weights. A lot of women, when I teach this class, will stick to the 2 and 3 pound weights, and that's really fine if that's where you need to be, if that's where you're comfortable. But if you are worried about working with 10, 12 pound weights because you're afraid it's going to bulk you up, what's really going to happen is it's going to trim you down. You're going to lose a lot of body fat and build lean muscle in its place, and it actually will trim you instead of bulk you. So if it's comfortable for you, you can work your way up into the 10 and 12 pound weights. Those are still considered lightweight by fitness industry standards, but by yoga non-impact standards, that's about as heavy as we'd like you to go. So you can either work your way up to it or skip it entirely. But if the fear is that you're going to bulk up by using heavy weights, just rest assured that the opposite is actually the case, and you'll notice a change in how your body shape is in very short order. You'll lose inches pretty quickly. So today I wanted to focus on the upper body, and I'm going to just demonstrate with some 5 pound weights, and you can choose whatever weights you have. So we'll start with doing some bicep curls. So take the feet about hip to shoulder width apart, and you want the elbows away from the body. I see a lot of people resting their elbows on their hip bones, and that's not your biceps working. That's just your hips holding the weight for you. So you want your elbows out to the side and your palms face the wall in front of you. So here's baby bear. You just have a nice little bend in the knee. You pull your belly in towards your backbone and bring your hands up to your shoulders. Inhale, relax your belly button, and drop your hands down. So I'm going to turn to the side here. Slurp in with your belly, and you never want to do this because the tendon in your elbow, on the back side of your elbow, will be hurt. And then we never want you to go past here, the side seams. If you go past that, you're in trouble in a lot of different ways. Your muscles are vulnerable to tearing, and your tendons are vulnerable to inflammation. So pull in with your belly, release your belly. Pull in with your belly, release your belly. Now, if you want a little bit more from this, you can step your left foot back and your right knee is bent. You would be in a warrior position. If you want even more, as you bend your elbows toward you, you can dip your knee toward the floor and take some lunge squats. And if you want to work in balance, this can be your inhale where your belly is relaxed, and this can be your exhale where your belly is pulled in. So inhale, exhale, belly out, belly in, belly out, belly in. So we're just bicep curling here in whatever way works for you. Both feet to the floor, taking some lunges with it, whatever suits you is fine. And we'll take the other side if you had another side going. So again, you can just hold the warrior, and that's plenty. You can also drop your extended knee. Anytime the weights come toward your body, the belly button comes toward the backbone. And really push into the heel of that front foot. And that's true from any of the positions. We don't go by repetition, we go by time and breath. So, now that we've gotten you kind of warmed up with some bicep curls, we're now going to take a balance, and we're going to get into the pecs as well. So you're going to bring your arms overhead like goalposts, and you can have your toes on the floor, or you can have your foot up in a full tree. You're going to pull your belly button in toward your backbone and bring your arms up overhead. Relax your belly button and bring your humerus bones out parallel to the floor. We don't want you to do this because that will strain your neck. So the belly is in, the belly is relaxed. The belly is in, the belly is relaxed. Notice that we aren't straightening the elbow. Belly in, belly in, belly in. Be real careful that you're not sticking your tailbone out. You want to kind of tuck your tailbone under. You don't want it to be your low back that's holding you up. You want it to be your belly. Now we're going to change sides. So again, you can have your toes on the floor if you need a reference point. And for my friends who feel like you are not able to have the arms up overhead, you can always bring your arms out parallel to the floor and get much the same effect and benefit. So the belly comes in as the hands come together. So your belly is going to come in anytime you're doing the work. So in traditional fitness, they'll have you inhale as you lift, but in yoga, the belly is in on the exhale. And release. Now you're going to take your feet about shoulder width apart. You've got your weights up by your face like you're going to box. You're going to dip, pull your belly in, and you're going to extend an arm and a leg. Watch out that you don't pump or pop your elbow up too hard. And to center, to the other side. And you can go at your own pace. This is just fine if this is where you need to be. If you want your heart rate to come up a little bit and you have pretty good form, you can go a little faster. So again, the belly is in as you do the work. So as you're kicking the weight away from you, the belly is pulling in toward the backbone. And release to center. Now we have two options to get into the deltoids, those nice pear-shaped muscles on the outside of your shoulder. So bring your feet, pretty close together, no more than hip width apart. You're going to bring your elbows out away from the body and the palms face the wall behind you. So this is baby bear. Come up onto the balls of your feet and bring your weights up as high as you can, like you're putting on really tall, incredibly unattractive pants. So come up onto the balls of your feet. The belly comes in. Belly is in. The belly is in. Now if this works for you, there's no bicep tendonitis or bursitis in the shoulder, you can turn your palms to face the sides of your body and bring your arms out in the shape of a T. As you come up onto the balls of your feet, the belly comes in, the arms come out. This might strain your neck, so it's okay to use lighter weights or just no weights at all. On average, an arm is about 15 pounds by itself. So whatever's in your hand is actually plus 15. So if you're only using your body weight, you're still lifting 15 pounds on each side. Good, and release. The next thing we'll do is we'll take a nice wide squat, sumo squats. Now, we want you to come as far down as you feel like you can without sticking your hips out behind you. You're not playing baseball. We want you to have your shoulders right over your hips and the tailbone is sort of pulling down toward the floor. So I'll turn to the side so you can see these options. We're in the triceps now. So you can either take the hands behind you, the arms extended, the palms face each other, and squeeze towards and away. You also have the option, mama bear, to drop the weights behind the head, pull in with the belly and straighten the elbows. In with the belly. In with the belly. In with the belly. For papa bear, your knees can be straight while your elbows are bent, and then your knees can bend as your elbows straighten. So the belly is in. The belly is in as you extend. Oh, sorry. Here to here. Here to here. Good. So it's important to have good, strong triceps because it helps you prevent rotator cuff tears. And the tricep is that part of the arm that a lot of women call the bat wing. It keeps waving even after you have stopped. And a lot of that has to do with skin. In order to bring your arm up overhead like this, you need skin. So if you can't grab onto anything when your elbow is behind you, there's nothing you can do about that excess. You need it to be able to bend your arm. Some of that we can fill in with tricep muscle tissue. Good. Just 3 more. And release. There's a lot of other ways we can play with you for upper body and yoga with weights. I just wanted to give you a little taste. Tell me what you think about it over at the Champagne and Chakras Facebook page. Rock out with your core out.